So in this session we will be discussing about acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity and how it varies. Let me just quickly recap. This is your earth and there is a body. Okay, this is your earth and this is that body. So both will have a gravitation force. It is F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So this is the radius of the earth. Okay, so let us say mass of earth is me, mass of the body is m divided by, see this body is on the ground, so when compared to earth's radius is how much? 6,400 kilometers. It's quite big. So the object is on the ground, so that small distance you can ignore, so you can write r square. So this is a constant, this is a constant and this is a constant, so club them. That value we are calling it as, this under bracket value we are calling it as g. Okay, and g value is 9.8 meter per second square. Now this g value also varies. Okay, we are going to study the variation of this g value with respect to, first one is altitude. Altitude means height. Second one depth, and third one is latitude. Okay, that means when the body is very close to the earth, the value is 9.8 only. But what if I take the body higher than the ground to a considerable height? Okay, and this earth is a sphere, right? It's like an onion, you know, it's like a sphere. So right now this person is standing on the ground. So if you dig into the earth and you try to move towards the center of the earth, so that is variation with depth. And this earth, when you take, this is the equatorial line, so there is a variation of latitude also. You can take here, you can take here, with different latitude, how the value of g is going to vary is what we are going to see now. Okay, so first we are going to see variation of g with respect to the altitude. Now this is your earth, let us say the object is here. Okay, so this is your r, and let us say this height above the ground is h. So what is your force? So here the force will be g. This is me and m by r plus h whole square from the center to the center of mass of the object. Okay, so here you can see that this is the value, but originally g was how much? G was g me by r square. Okay, so you can call this value as g dash me by r plus h whole square. So we can take g upon g dash will be equal to, g me will be cancelled, so it will be r plus h whole square by r square, right? So we basically want to find g dash, so we will write g dash is equal to g r square by r plus h whole square. So this is the expression we got. Now divide numerator and denominator by r square, you get 1 upon 1 plus h by r whole square. Okay, now let us say this h is quite less than r. H is a small value, let us say. In that case, if you want to find the value of g, you can see that this g dash is varying with respect to height now. Okay, you put the height value, when the height value is comparable with the radius of the earth, you will get some different value. What is happening actually, you say this is in the denominator, right? So this is a square, so you are getting g divided by some positive value. So what is happening, actually g is reducing, right? The value of g is reducing. Now we will talk about the case where h is a small value, right? So for smaller values, we can write this as g into 1 plus h by r to the power minus 2. Okay, so here this is a binomial expansion. This binomial expansion, 1 plus x to the power of n, what happens is it is 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 x square. Okay, so on and so forth. You will get lot of terms. Now what is this x here? X is h by r. X is h by r, and h by r is a very small value because h is a very small value. So what we will do is we will ignore all these terms and we will take only the first two terms. So you get g dash is equal to g into 1 plus, see what is n here? N is minus 2 here, minus 2 into x. So x is h by r. So you get minus 2 h by r. So this is the expression to find out the variation of acceleration due to gravity with respect to altitude. But here the condition is the h value is very less compared with the radius of earth. Like radius of earth is 6,400 kilometers. Okay, so let us say you took h is equal to 1 kilometer. So 1 is nowhere comparable to 6,400. That type of values we are talking about. Okay, let us say you want to find the value of g at a height of 10 kilometer from this surface of the earth. Okay, so this is your earth and this height is 10 kilometer and this radius is 6,400 kilometer. So you can see that 10 kilometer is very small compared with this. So we can apply that equation. G dash is equal to g into 1 minus 2h by r. Alright, so this is 9.8 into 1 minus 2 into 10 divided by 6,400. Okay, so you got here how much? 2 by 640, 1 by 320. So 9.8 into, this is 1 by 320. So 1 minus 1 by 320, 319 by 20. 320. This is the g dash. You can see that it is slightly less than, because this is less than 1, so this is also less than 9.8 slightly. Okay. So next we are going to see the variation of g with respect to depth. See, earth is like this, right? It is like that onion, spherical, right? So this is the radius of the earth. This much distance is the radius of the earth. So at the surface, what is the value of g? At the surface, the value of g is gm by r square. What is this? This is mass of the earth, right? But mass is equal to density into volume, right? So we are assuming this to be a spherical shape. So what is the volume? So rho into 4/3 pi r cube. This is the mass. So your g value becomes g into, you take 4/3 common, rho and r cube divided by r square. So it is 4/3 g rho, this is gone, only r left. Okay, 4/3 g rho r. This value is at the surface, right? Now suppose you dig into the earth and you go deeper into the earth. Let us say you went to a depth d. So now this is so called presumed earth. Okay, you dig into the earth, you went over here. Okay, imagine this is not there now, only this is left. So using the same logic, now this is d, the total is r. So what is this dimension? This r minus d. So gd r being in a similar way, it will be 4/3 g. The rho density will remain same only, but in the place of r minus d will come. Okay, going by the same logic. So this is equation 2. Okay, so basically we are trying to find out the variation of acceleration due to gravity with respect to depth. So you take 2 divided by 1, gd divided by g is equal to, these terms are common, you are left with r minus d by r or 1 minus d by r. GD by G is 1 minus d by r. So this is the formula you have to remember. Okay. So this GD by G is called the fractional change. Okay. It's a fractional value. So fractional change, sometimes they will ask you, fractional change is equal to G minus GD divided by G. That means original minus new value divided by original into 100. This much variation can happen. Okay. So you basically want what? You divide by G, you get 1 minus GD by G here. Right? So 1 minus GD by G into 100 you will get. Let us say I am not asking in percentage, I am asking you only fractional value. If I am asking you only fractional value, so this is a fractional change. Originally it was 20, now it became 5. So what is how much change? 15 by 20, that is what we are saying. Okay. So 1 minus GD by G. GD by G is 1 minus D by R. So 1 minus of 1, this 1 will go and you will be left with D upon R. Okay. So fractional change is D upon R. Just make a note of these points. 2 we have covered now. So let us see the variation of acceleration due to gravity in the way by drawing a graph. On the x-axis I have taken distance from center of the earth. Okay. So if this is your earth, okay, so the object can be here or within the earth surface. Okay. So this is your radius. Alright. The object can be at a depth d from the below the earth surface or some height h. Let us combine this in the terms of a graph and understand how the graph will look like. Little bit adjust. So the graph is like this. At the center it is 0. Okay. So the maximum value is G 9.8 meter per second square. Okay. So this region is inside the earth. This is above the earth. So up to the ground surface the variation is linear. That when you reach the ground surface and you increase the height like this, it is hyperbola. So G is proportional to 1 upon r square. So this is the variation. So third one is variation with latitude. Now see this figure, this is our globe. Let us say at point P there is a mass m and it is at a particular latitude. Okay. And it is making angle lambda. Now this is the center of the earth. So now this is our pole. This globe is revolving about its own axis also. So if this distance is r, so any object which is rotating in a circular fashion, it will have a centripetal force. Now here, if you want to find out the acceleration due to gravity, what will the variation means? G lambda means at that location, at that latitude will be equal to G minus R omega square cos lambda. R omega square cos lambda is the component. If you see this force is there, if this angle is lambda, this is also lambda. So there is a component towards the center of the earth. So when you take center of the earth as a reference, towards that also there will be a component. So this component is that component. So you have to remove this from the G value. So G value you can see it is reducing. Just remember this formula. Lambda is the angle it is making. It is a location of the point basically. Okay. It will be given in the question. So you can calculate that. Okay. Actually here there should be cos square lambda. Okay. Just make this small correction. It is in the formula, it is G lambda is equal to G minus R omega square cos square lambda. Let us see some special cases. At poles, what is the value of G? At pole, what will happen? What will be lambda value? 90 degrees. So lambda is equal to 90 degrees. So put lambda is equal to 90 here. So cos lambda is cos 90, which is 0. So G90, let us say G pole is equal to G minus this term, R omega square into 0. So this will become 0. So G pole is equal to G. So at poles, the value is matching with acceleration due to gravity. There is no change. Okay. At equator is this line. So obviously lambda is equal to 0, right? So you have to measure in this direction anti-clockwise. So lambda is equal to 0. Put lambda is equal to 0 means here cos 0 will become 1. So G equator will be G minus omega square R into 1 square. So it is G minus omega square R. So this is the minimum value. Why it is minimum value? See, omega square is always positive and R is a positive value. Alright. So this whole thing is a positive value and this is what is maximum possible. Omega value is maximum at equator, you know. So this is the minimum value. So the value of G is minimum at equator and maximum at the pole. Now look at this question. The height at which the acceleration due to gravity becomes G by 9, where G is the acceleration due to gravity at the surface in terms of radius R is. Now this question has come in 2009. Exam is not mentioned, but 2009 it has come. So here acceleration due to gravity, variation with respect to height is asked. So which case, so this is your radius, you know, and the object is somewhere above the ground. I am drawing picture so that you get some idea about what we are doing. Okay. So what is the equation here? G dash is equal to G into R by R plus H whole square. Now G dash is given as G by 9 in the question. See, G is the value of acceleration due to gravity at the surface of Earth. So this is G by 9 is equal to G into R by R plus H whole square. So G and G is cancelled. Take square roots both sides. You get 1 by 3 is equal to R by R plus H. So R plus H is equal to 3R. H is equal to 2R. So option 2 is the right answer. Next, let us move to this question. What is the time period of rotation of the Earth around its axis so that the objects at the equator become weightless? Become weightless means he is talking about apparent weight. Now this is your globe. Okay. So this is your equatorial line. Now let us say a person is here. Okay. Where will be its weight acting? Downward? No, it will be acting towards center always. Okay. Now Earth is spinning about its pole, about its axis, you know. So there will be a centrifugal force acting outwards. So what is that? Centrifugal force or centripetal force, both are basically, you know, their magnitude wise same, only direct. Centripetal is towards the center and centrifugal is away from the center. Centrifugal force is basically a fictitious force. Okay, it's an imaginary force. Centripetal force is a real force. Towards center is a real force. That is why object is rotating in the circle. Okay. When you increase the speed, it will be thrown out. This you might have experienced when negotiating sharp curves. You increase the speed, you will be down the cliff. So this is mr omega square. Alright. So in this direction it will be mg. So apparent weight, see, one force is in this direction, another force in this direction. So the object has not lost contact with the ground. He is standing on the ground, right? So what is the net force? That net force we are calling it as apparent weight. Okay? mg minus mr omega square. But he says it is weightless. So 0 is equal to m gone. So it is g minus r omega square. So from here you are getting omega is equal to g upon r. See, in the question he has given you r value as 6400 kilometers. Sometimes they may not give you. You should remember this value. Okay. So we have to find time period. Time period is 2 pi upon omega, because omega is equal to 2 pi upon t. So this becomes 2 pi into, just inverse it, r upon g. Put r value this one and g value 9.8. You solve it, you get 84 minutes 38 seconds. This is the answer. Just calculate. Put everything into seconds first and then convert into hours. 84 hours, 58. Just do the calculation. You have to just substitute here. Any problem? Just message me. Just have a look. The camera has slipped down. Okay.